afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the mental exercise for our youth. This message will be posted on Saturday, September 11th, 2021. So this is for our youth. Our kids been back in school now about 4 or 5 weeks, and the numbers are still going up. Cases are soaring. It's still a mess up there, ladies and gentlemen. It's an outpour of cries and an outpour of desperation. Our kids walk in fear daily, hoping that they don't contract this deadly virus that has been consuming so many people for the last 3 or 4 months. Yeah, 3 or 4 months since it got worse. After this is September, so August was rough. July was really bad. June kind of was moderate, but July, August was like really horrible. The numbers just shot up to the sky. It's just hurtful and painful to see our babies go through this. And I haven't really looked at the numbers because at this point, these numbers are skyrocket high. There's no more talking about the statistics at this point. Because what we see is that there's an ongoing battle of people going into the hospital to contract COVID, and how this Delta variant has came over and just really just did a number. And people are just going on with their lives like everything is all fine and dandy. But have we asked our babies these questions? How are you feeling during this whole pandemic? How is this affecting your school? You're taking tests, interacting with kids on the campus. You don't know who's been where and what. How you feel of all this back and forth arguing that adults are doing. In a child and a young person perspective, they look at and mimic the things that they see. And what they're mimicking is what they're taking back to their own well-being and applying it to their life. When you demonstrate things in front of a child and even beyond, they mimic what they see. So they see the adults going back and forth about no mask, unmasked, unvaccinated, vaccine, back and forth like a tennis match. So they feel like it's okay to continue that type of behavior. But in true reality, it's not okay. It's not okay to continue with that behavior. It's not okay for it to continue to go on and on and on. We're in times right now where it's getting to be critical. We're in times right now that it's getting to be critical, it's getting to be overwhelming, become very overbearing. And when we see these behaviors, some things go on and on over and over again, we begin to really look at ourselves in a way it's like, dog, we could have handled it in a different way, or could have spoken on a different factor. It's like watching a tennis match, or watching a basketball game, or watching average things, like watching stuff on National Geographic. And what I'm trying to get you to understand is, ladies and gentlemen, when you see these different type of behaviors taking place, it's just fascinating just to sit there and observe. I'm going to tell you this. It's fascinating to sit here and observe the behavior. And I sit here and watch the behavior. And I watch the body language of what people say and how they present themselves and how they listen to themselves. If you ever go back and listen to some of the recordings, or even go back and hear your voice on a recording or a video or something you have said, and think about what you have said, did it impact you and will it impact other people? A lot of people don't go back and listen to what they say or go listen to their voice because there's some people don't like the sound of their voice, or they don't like what they have said, or they may be ashamed, either or. But the point I'm trying to get across, ladies and gentlemen, is when you present yourself to people, are you presenting yourself as who you are right now? Or are you presenting yourself to something completely different? With children, they see one side of a person in this position, but then behind closed doors, it's a whole different perspective. And the perspective is one way in front of one from all of these people, but behind closed doors, they're not the same person. So which person are you going to be today? Who are you going to be today? Who are you going to be? Are you going to be the person that was out there in the public eye? And are you the same person behind closed doors? Let that just sink in, ladies and gentlemen. We have to present ourselves. We have to carry a part of ourselves that really needs to be true honesty. And we have to be honest with ourselves, because kids right now are mimicking things off TV, off social media, in the streets. people they're interacting with in their environment. And they're listening and picking up this behavior and picking up these techniques and picking up these new traits that they really shouldn't be getting involved in because the child is getting a child's place. Okay. A child needs to stay in a child's place because there's so much of that exposure in this world that you really have to think about this. Is this really what you want? This is really what you really want. And do you really want it to keep going on? As adults, we have to be mindful. As guardians and parents, we have to be mindful. When a child is crying out for help or beating walls or having temper tantrum, there's something really going on. And us as guardians and adults have to find out what's really going on internally. Screaming and yelling is not going to always be the solution all the time. Yes, you have to conduct order with your kids and get them straight. But there may be something deeper than that may need further evaluation in terms of professional psychological evaluations done on your child. And it may have been going on for so long that it's been so visible that you didn't ever pay attention to that behavior. But by you seeking that and seeing certain type of behavior that's really going on, then you get a clear image of what really is taking place and how to correct this. Counseling, talking to the school, and acting with the outsourced community resources to get that answer that you need. You may have to do testings or things that kind of give you an overall view, like my child's behavior has been different since all this been going on. What's really going on? You got to get on the mend. And there's so many people out there that don't have a voice. Connect with the school officials. I talked about this a while back, and get somebody on in case, because people need a voice to speak for them. They don't have a voice for themselves. Remember what Remarkable is saying. People need somebody to speak for them when they don't have their own voice to speak for themselves. Our children need somebody to speak up for them because they may not have a voice. They may not have a voice, but you being that voice, you are articulating your voice so people can hear what you have to say. And when you speak on it, you speak on it matter for people to understand. All right? All right, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. Give me a few minutes. People have to understand. Thank you all for tuning in to the mental exercise. I don't like to be very long with this segment. There was times when I did hours of broadcasting. I have done so many broadcasts in the last few years that I like to get right to the point and keep it moving. I like to make the videos shorter now. Now, if it's something that's real empowering and God's moving, I gotta roll with the spirit. But when it's just me just speaking in general, just on time, I like to get on and get off now. Get right to the point and get it off. Okay? All right, everybody. I love you all. I'll see you back on here again next week for mental exercises, and our webinars coming up, and a few more things that we're going to talk about. I'll make those announcements on Sunday's broadcast, streaming live at 9 a.m. as well as 11 a.m. stream live on YouTube, Facebook, IG. I'll resume on broadcasting, telling you, scheduling. Things that's been crazy for me lately, but we're going to get back into it. Okay? If will, there's a way. God bless you all.